the hell is going on with Jovi? So Jovi, from Yara and Jovi from 90 Day Fiance, well, he's no longer working at his job where he's making the big bucks. And ever since he retired from that line of work, I think he's just mostly been focusing on his social media career, and he's been traveling like crazy. Like, we're only, what, 7 weeks into 2026, and he has already went on 6 different vacations, 6 different flights to 6 different destinations this year. He's been out here living his best life. And in his latest trip, he decided to travel from Miami, where he's living, to New Orleans, where his mom and all his old friends lives. And he decided to bring his daughter, Mila. Yara stayed back, and him and Mila went to New Orleans. He left his daughter, Mila, with his mother, and he decided to go drink with some people, and he decided to go day drinking and bar hopping. And they ended the night at Nobu's, which is this very bougie, expensive restaurant. And they ended up getting kicked out of the restaurant. And he put them on blast on social media. They clapped back and exposed him and had some things to say. And it's just messy as hell. So let's get into it. Here's Jovi when he went to go drop off Mila.
Me and Jovi. 3 kids. I hear you. Oh my goodness.
And then Yara says, "Have fun, guys." Smiley face. And he posted right before that this video of him at the airport leaving Miami to New Orleans. And it says, "You look happier." And he said, "Yes, this is my 5th trip in 2026. Okay, I stand corrected. 5th trip, not 6th trip. I misspoke. But Yara commented and she said, "When you work so hard and now you can finally relax while your wife takes over." Smiley face. So she confirmed, she calls herself his wife and makes it sound like they're still actively together. Here he is going on his trip. Now Jovi's finally getting a taste of what Yara went through being a single mom all this time. Yara made this post and she said, "Me and Jovi switch roles. He's the stay-at-home dad now, and I'm the one flying all over for work." And this is where things take a turn. Okay, so here's he at Nobu, and he goes, "Nobu, New Orleans." Here we go.
Charge me for 2 Wagyu dumplings. Do you have them or do you not want to serve us? Can you answer me?
If you stop being disrespectful to my staff, I appreciate that greatly. So
I'm not being disrespectful to your staff at all.
Yes, you were.
No?
Yes, you were.
I was not.
Thank you.
I was not at all.
Don't be disrespectful.
I'm a nice guy, to be honest.
Please don't be disrespectful.
I'm just asking you a question.
There's no one being disrespectful.
My other table heard the comments that were made to my staff. That was disrespectful.
No one was rude to your staff, sir.
What comment was made to your staff? Please tell us.
Exactly.
What comment? What comment was made
What's
to
your
your
name?
staff?
What's your name?
It's called security. It's called security.
Oh, okay. Let's get
Thank
security.
you.
Please.
Okay, there is the girl there, and it's not Yara. Some people are trying to say that's Jovi's mom. No, Jovi's mom is watching his daughter, and you can see this girl's hands. Her hands are tatted up. Obviously, a woman close to his age with long blonde hair.
Please do. Why? What's your name, sir?
Luis.
Luis.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you work at only Nobu, New Orleans?
Yes, sir. So
No other restaurants?
Luis, Nobu,
I
New
know people at all the
Orleans.
restaurants, so.
So let them know that don't be disrespectful to my staff.
Yeah. Let me pay the bill.
Who is disrespectful?
He's trying to overcharge me, by the way, for stuff that we didn't get to our bill.
So please don't be respectful to my staff.
I said, let me pay. He said, oh, let me charge you for all this stuff that was not on your bill.
So don't be
But what
disrespectful to my staff.
happened? Who was disrespectful?
Because he charging me from.
Who was disrespectful? What happened?
It's not illegal.
Please tell us.
He charged me for more than what I was going to pay for.
Yeah, but
What happened?
you last in?
Listen, Nobu, you charged me.
Apparently, he was supposed to get these dumplings. They ran out of dumplings, and he was claiming that they were trying to overcharge them. But it's like, okay, why do you gotta like surround the waiter and just like sit there and harass him while he's trying to do his job? see if he overcharges you. And if he does overcharge you, then make a scene out of it. But I would just tell him, okay, you're going to take the dumplings off, right? And wait for him to bring the receipt back. You guys don't need to be cornering him and sitting there and yelling and being drunk as hell, because you can tell that girl obviously is intoxicated by the way she's slurring her words. And I guess leading up to this incident, Jovi was day drinking all day. Here's some of the alcohol that he drank just yesterday leading up to him going to Nobu. Here's 4 drinks. The purple drink. Then he got this hand grenade at another place. Then he got this hurricane from another place, just jumping from one bar to another. And I'm sure there's other drinks that he didn't document as well along the way. And then him and his friends decide to go raise hell at Nobu's. Jovi got a lot of crap in the comments. People were not happy. They're like, yo, you're being a Karen. You're not getting the reaction you want. We're team, I can't remember the name of the guy in this video. Luis. We're team Luis. People were siding with the waiter. And I am definitely siding with the waiter from what I've seen here. So Jovi decided to make a video addressing things. And I think it just kind of further solidifies the fact that he's got some audacity. He did not really take any accountability or see what he did was wrong in any sort of way. And he confirmed that I guess they wanted to kick him out because somebody with Jovi ended up throwing up in the bathroom, which tells me you're obviously too drunk where you're at the point you need to go home. If you're throwing up and you're leaving behind evidence to the point that somebody at the restaurant was able to find it. Like, if you're going to throw up in a fancy restaurant, at least clean up after yourself. Okay, this was
last night. First of all, Nobu, great restaurant. But bad experience last night. So we sat down. We were obviously drinking, having fun, whatever. We ordered drinks, we ordered appetizers. Well, I noticed like the drinks never came to the table, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Can we get a drink? He's like, the manager said we can't serve you. I was like, okay, that's weird, whatever, no big deal. And then our appetizers started coming, and I was like, oh, what about the Wagyu dumplings? Like, we ordered 2 orders. He's like, oh, sorry, we're out of those tonight. I was like, okay, never heard of that before, but whatever. So time goes on, and I was like, like, can I get a beer? Like, what's the big deal? And he's like, oh, the manager said. I was like, can you bring the manager here? So if the manager comes, he's like, yeah, someone threw up in the bathroom, and we're just going to assume it was one of you guys, like someone at your table. I was like, okay, whatever. No big deal. Let's get the check and let's go. So we get the check, and I'm like, well, you charged us for the stuff that apparently your kitchen is out of, which is unacceptable. And he's like, I'm not going to pay for that. And he's like, oh, let me get security. So he brings security, and security's like laughing at it. Like, man, he's like, what's going on? You guys go in the casino, have fun. Like, he's like, this makes no sense. So eventually, he did take the stuff off the check, but it took a lot of arguing for no reason. I was like, what's the big deal? You don't want to eat here? That's fine. We'll get out of here. Go in the casino. Have fun. That's what we did.
It seemed like he was trying to take the dumplings off, though. It seems like you guys were just down his throat before you guys were really giving him a chance to take the damn dumplings off. And you never heard of people running out of things before? Okay, so I came across these comments on Reddit, and some employees at this restaurant ended up speaking out, and they're speaking a very different tune than what Jovi's singing. Jovi was exposed by employees and friends of employees at Nobu. So someone said, look, my bestie's a chef there. This is not what happened. You and your girl were asking a girl if she was castrated and how large her nipples were, and saying that y'all were famous. Please do not blame the good staff at Nobu for your terrible behavior. Not cool. Not it. The service industry deals with enough, and Nobu employees are trained very well to handle this type of situation. And I'm curious, were they just asking like random females, like people who were sitting near them? Like, hey, how big are your nipples? Or were they asking the waitress there? Because he did say they were making inappropriate comments to the wait staff, and that's kind of what he was making it sound like, why they wanted to get rid of them, outside the fact that somebody threw up in the bathroom and they're clearly way too drunk and just needed to call it a night. And someone else, an employee, said, I worked there and I was there last night. We cut you off because y'all were clearly too drunk to be served. Y'all then became highly aggressive and began making really inappropriate as well as transphobic comments to our staff. You weren't charged for anything you didn't eat, and yet you continued to be aggressive. Security nor our staff found it funny, so that's a blatant lie. Do better. And like I said, this is all the alcohol that he consumed. So the big question everybody wants to know is, who was that female? People are saying that it was Yara's friend, Adele, I think that was her name. It was that friend that Yara had from a previous season that had a criminal history and who had been arrested for some serious drug charges before. It was that friend. But I find it interesting that Jovi's hanging out with one of Yara's female friends and getting drunk with her like that. And I thought it was just Yara, or not, or I figured it was just Jovi and this girl, because from the employees, their comments make it sound like, oh, we saw you and they made it sound like they look like a couple because they believed it was his girlfriend, but Yara was back home. So it was obviously some other girl, and we saw that wasn't Yara when we got that like 2-second view in that video. So a lot of people were like, okay, is this some kind of mystery girl? Did he just put himself on blast? But then people are like, oh, well, do we really think he would post this if he was out with another girl? Well, TMZ made an article. I cannot share the article that TMZ made, but I will show.
You charged me for 2 Wagyu dumplings.
Let me read the article that TMZ said. Okay, so TMZ claims that Jovi and his buddies got booted from Nobu after a heated argument over Wagyu dumplings. Okay, that's a funny title, but it was more than the dumplings. So I guess, according to TMZ, Jovi had a rough night. Him and his buddies got banned after they had a heated argument. So the sources familiar with the situation, okay, I'm assuming it's likely Jovi or one of his friends or employee of Nobu that doesn't want to, come out and be public. But they say that Jovi and 4 friends showed up at Nobu in the Big Easy Sunday night. So Jovi was with 4 other people. And they claim that everyone except Jovi was wasted. I'm sure Jovi was wasted too. He probably just hides it better because he drinks so much at this point. And this is what happens when we don't have Yara around to dial him back in when he starts getting off the chain. So apparently they were seated at this table. They ordered beer. They ordered tacos. They ordered sushi and Wagyu dumplings. And I guess okay, so while they were waiting for the food to come to them, one of Jovi's friends went to the bathroom and started puking. Then one of the employees found evidence of the vomit in the bathroom. They went to Jovi and they're like, hey, we found evidence of your friend puking, so we're not going to serve you alcohol. And also, by the way, we're out of dumplings. If that was Jovi, I just would have been like, okay, fine, we'll just eat here. We don't need to have a bar, or we don't need to have a beer. Like, dude, you've been drinking all night. You can go without having a beer for one meal. But he had to raise hell over it. Then Jovi and the general manager, Luis, got in a heated argument, which we saw in Jovi's video that he posted on social media. And I feel like the manager handled that very well. So security ended up escorting Jovi and his friends out of the restaurant. One of Jovi's friends ended up paying the $180 bill, and they said that the manager ended up removing the dumplings off the bill. So they ended up leaving. They went to the casino, and then I saw that Jovi did a Q&A on his social media after this happened. So Jovi did a Ask Me Anything on his Instagram stories, and someone said, are you and Yara still together? Don't lie. And he said, sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. Then someone said, where are you traveling next? And he said, LA next week, then hopefully Japan soon. Then someone said, why is Yara not traveling with you? Who is the other girl at Nobu? People keep asking him the number one question, who is that other girl? And he does not answer that question. He'll answer questions about him and Yara, but he will not address who that other girl was. All he said about Yara is she's busy, and then posted a picture of her in Paris. I found this interesting too. Someone said, are you ever content just staying at home, having a quiet evening, watching TV? And he said, nope, that's boring. Dude, you got a family now. You got to learn to be content with that. And then someone said, why did you vomit at Nobu? And then Jovi said, ha ha ha, I heard it was you, and tagged Georgie. So was it Georgie that vomited? I think he's just trolling because I think Georgie was the one who asked the question, because the way he asked it when he said vomited, it sounds like broken English. So it definitely sounds like Georgie or someone like Georgie was the one asking the question. Or maybe it was him. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if there's a female that was with him that was slurring all over her words as she was the one that was drunk. Yeah, everyone's saying, who is that lady? I'm with Luis, 1 second away from don't you know who I am? You're in his face and he's trying to be respectful. Luis was very professional and handled that situation in a respectful manner. People are like, y'all are drunk as hell. This is embarrassing. So not many people were siding with Jovi outside of a few diehard Jovi fans that are going to praise anything he does. But you guys let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Do you guys think that Jovi's doing something behind closed doors? What do you think? Do you agree with what he did at the restaurant? Are you on the restaurant side? Are you on Jovi's side? Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching.